Hello there and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. So, full disclosure, I woke up, that's gonna bug me. Okay, sorry. I woke up feeling not so fabulous this morning. Really kind of drained and exhausted about today. And I did some journaling well, let's back up before we even get there. Back it up a little bit. So, the last couple of weeks, really the last few months, let's say, I have felt myself being stretched and expanded. And last night it kind of came to a head when, one of our friends who is looking to hire my son for a sales position had called me and said that there was an issue with the way that the credit bureau was reporting something on his background check, right? Whatever it was. And I felt myself like, I didn't get frustrated, but I was like, oh great, here's another thing, right? Like, here's another problem that I need to solve. And it was right before I went to bed. And so what I've started to practice is before I go to bed, I do a brain dump where I just kind of put it all down on paper, give it to God, let go of it, so that I can fall asleep fairly quickly. And it has been working. And so last night, I had written this stuff down, and I was thinking about it as I was laying in bed, and just kind of praying, talking out loud, whichever you want to call it, just going through it. And I was starting to get annoyed at the thought that I had to solve yet again another problem. And it was within a couple of seconds where I was prompted by Spirit to look at this as not a problem, but as an opportunity for growth. And I thought, okay, yes, I can see it as an opportunity for growth instead of a problem that I have to solve, right? Like, this situation is certainly going to make me better, stronger, whatever, more resilient in the future. Yes, for sure. So I can see it as an opportunity. However, I said, why am I the one tasked with all these things? Why do I have to be the one that finds the resolution or, looks at this opportunity? Like, can I get some help? Essentially, it was essentially a cry for help. And so I said, why are all of these things? And it's not a lot of things, but it's like large things. Why are these things happening to my son right now? Because he was recently in a car accident. He is okay. There is an insurance conversation that's being had, as the driver that hit him was uninsured. And then there is a situation with the apartment complex that he lived in last year for his freshman year of college. And now this thing on his credit report. And I just kind of threw it all out there last night as I was laying in bed, and I was like, God, why are all these things like my tasks? Like, why do I have to, I've got enough on my plate. Why are we putting more stuff on my plate is essentially what it was. It was really a cry for help. And God said, these are not your things to figure out. These are the things to guide your son through. And I was like, oh, well, that's different, right? And that means that yes, I can guide you through, and yes, I'm going to learn something through the guidance, right? But this is not a learning thing for me per se, right? It is a learning thing for me to tell my young adult son to do these things, right? Now, he is on top of them, he is doing them. However, I had kind of taken it on myself, and as I'm saying this all out loud, I'm realizing and remembering that when I work with my clients, it is not my job to solve their problems. As a coach, as a mentor, I like to call myself a mentor, but also as a teacher, I am a college professor. It is not my job to solve the problems of my students, of my clients, of my kids. It is my job to guide them. And that guidance allows them to grow kind of in a safer container, right? My son's not out in the world living in his own apartment yet, right? Like, we'll get there. But these are things that I can guide him through while he's still kind of got the safety net. And this is really a really great visual of the work that I do, because my clients go through substantial change in short periods of time. It's not like a whiplash thing, but it's like we take baby steps and then all of a sudden they're like taking these giant steps and leaps because of the guidance that I provide, not the problem solving. Now, can I give them an example of how I have gone through something? Yes, absolutely. That is the value of the stories that I tell and the value of the conversations that I have even with my own kids, right? But it is about the guidance, because if you're not learning something and somebody is always solving your problems for you, they will always solve your problems and you won't learn anything along the way. And so as much as this was a cry for help for God, for me to be like, God, solve all of my problems, that's not the purpose. The purpose is for the problem to become an opportunity for growth in which you learn from it and change from it and adapt from it. And so while your prayers may be unanswered and it may feel really frustrating that you're not getting the thing immediately, sometimes you have to thank God for unanswered prayers. Thank you for that country song, right? There are lessons that I have learned from unanswered prayers that have been invaluable to me. Absolutely invaluable. And I am so grateful for them, because if I had gotten that prayer answered, I would have skipped over that life trial and it would have not molded me into the person that I'm becoming. And this is such a different energy than I woke up in this morning. Such a different energy. And I am so grateful for it, for sure. Because it was a lot of doom and gloom this morning. And I'm not hanging out in there, right? Somebody gave me $10 million to not wake up tomorrow. They could keep their $10 million, because today is worth more than that to me. And that's a cool thing to think about too. So, it's a perspective shift on the problems. They are opportunities to grow. And sometimes that irritates people because they're like, Steph, just get a dose of reality. Sometimes things suck. Yes, you're right. Sometimes things do suck. 100%. Yes. But you don't have to hang out in that space longer than you care to, right? As one of my mentors says so beautifully, let joy interrupt your sadness. It is okay to find joy in things. And she actually reiterated this recently. She was like, if you're going to be sad, like, do sad all out. Like, run yourself a bubble bath, put on the Notebook, pour yourself a glass of champagne, like, get the chocolate covered strawberries. Like, if you're going to do sad. And feel it and do all of the things. And then get back to joy, because that makes life way better. So, I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.